In the silence beneath the Mediterranean waves, Italy is reshaping the undersea balance of power. While much of the world's attention is drawn to AUKUS and the nuclear submarine competition between the United States, the United Kingdom, and Australia, a quieter revolution is taking place in Europe. The Italian Navy's new U212 Near Future Submarine, known as the U212 NFS, represents not just a fleet renewal, but a statement of strategic and industrial sovereignty. It is Italy's gamble to redefine how Europe operates beneath the sea, at a time when maritime competition extends from the Red Sea to the South China Sea. Italy's submarine ambitions did not emerge overnight. The country has been a co-developer of the German-designed Type 212A since the early 2000s, a class that entered Italian service in 2006. Those boats, efficient and reliable, gave the Marina Militare a credible undersea capability, but they were ultimately limited by the constraints of joint production. The combat system architecture, the supply chain, and even the upgrade timeline were dependent on German approval. For a nation that prides itself on naval craftsmanship and shipbuilding autonomy through Fincantieri, this dependency was increasingly unacceptable. In 2020, Rome decided to go its own way. The Ministry of Defense authorized the U212 Near Future Submarine program, an evolution of the Type 212A, but built and controlled entirely in Italy. It was a bold decision, expensive, technologically risky, but symbolically powerful. The U212 NFS is a compact but formidable vessel, measuring about 58 meters in length and displacing around 1,850 tons. It features air-independent propulsion with advanced fuel cells, lithium battery banks, and a completely digital combat management suite developed by Leonardo. It integrates new acoustic sensors, electronic warfare systems, and an architecture ready to deploy unmanned underwater vehicles for reconnaissance or anti-submarine warfare. Its primary weapon remains the Black Shark Advanced Torpedo, an Italian design that has already been exported to several countries. But what sets the U212 NFS apart is not just its technology. It is the fact that Italy now owns the intellectual property and can modify, export, or evolve the system without external approval. In an age when data and autonomy are the new forms of sovereignty, that independence is as valuable as steel. At the industrial level, the U212 NFS consolidates Italy's position as one of Europe's premier naval constructors. Fincantieri, already building aircraft carriers, frigates, and amphibious assault ships, has become the main shipyard for the project. Leonardo provides sensors, electronics, and integration, while a network of national suppliers handles propulsion, automation, and materials. 2 submarines are under construction, with delivery planned for 2027 and 2029, supported by a budget of approximately €2.7 billion. A second batch is expected to follow, ensuring at least 8 active submarines in Italian service by the early 2030s. This will allow the Marina Militare to replace its older boats while maintaining operational continuity, a luxury few European fleets can claim. Unlike the French or British nuclear programs, the Italian path is non-nuclear but deeply independent, proving that technological sovereignty does not require atomic propulsion. Operationally, the U212 NFS will transform how Italy conducts maritime deterrence. The country's strategic geography places it at the center of the extended Mediterranean an arc stretching from the Strait of Gibraltar to the Suez Canal and the waters south of Crete. Italy's energy routes, particularly gas pipelines from Libya and Algeria, depend on maritime security. Submarines provide a discreet yet decisive presence to monitor these critical lifelines. They also support NATO operations in the eastern Mediterranean, where Russian, Turkish, and increasingly Chinese activities intersect. The NFS, equipped with data-sharing protocols compatible with NATO's acoustic networks, will contribute to alliance situational awareness and undersea deterrence. In a time when great powers are contesting sea lanes and communication cables, Italy's undersea fleet is becoming a quiet but vital component of the Western maritime order. Beyond their military use, the new submarines are instruments of diplomacy and industry. Italy's decision to build its own design means it can now export without German veto. Several countries, including Greece, Portugal, Egypt, and Indonesia, have reportedly expressed interest in acquiring the NFS platform or its derivatives. For Greece, it could complement the German Type 214 fleet, offering diversification within NATO's southern flank. For Indonesia, it would continue the cooperation already established with Italy on surface ships. Fincantieri has thus positioned itself as a submarine hub for non-nuclear navies, a European alternative to German and South Korean designs. Even more significantly, Italy is exploring deeper defense ties with Japan and India, potentially linking the Mediterranean and the Indo-Pacific under a new framework of industrial diplomacy. In this way, the U212 NFS becomes not only a submarine, but a geopolitical bridge. The U212 NFS also reveals the broader transformation of the Italian defense industry. The country has moved from being a secondary European supplier to a full-spectrum producer of complex naval systems. This shift is visible not only in submarines, but also in the Trieste-class amphibious assault ship, the PPA multipurpose patrol vessels, and the FREM frigate exports. Together, they form a coherent portfolio that combines modular design, interoperability, and scalability, the same principles guiding NATO modernization. Italy's approach is pragmatic. Instead of competing head-to-head with nuclear powers, it focuses on flexibility, cost efficiency, and export potential. In the context of the European Union's growing emphasis on defense autonomy, this strategy places Italy alongside France as a central pillar of continental shipbuilding. Strategically, the timing of the U212 NFS program is significant. As China expands its naval presence in the Indian Ocean and the Red Sea, and Russia reinforces its Mediterranean squadron, NATO's southern front is regaining importance. Italy's submarines, capable of silent patrols and intelligence missions, serve as both deterrent and warning. Their presence near the Suez routes also intersects with global trade dynamics, an area where China's Belt and Road investments have reshaped port ownership and maritime logistics. Thus, even without a direct confrontation, the Italian Undersea program indirectly enters the same strategic chessboard as China's. For Rome, strengthening its navy is both a matter of national security and an assertion of independence within the Western alliance. By the mid-2030s, Italy's submarine fleet will represent one of the most modern non-nuclear forces in the world. The NFS project ensures that the nation's shipyards remain active for at least a decade, supporting thousands of high-skilled jobs and technological innovation. It also aligns with Italy's defense budget trajectory, which is expected to reach about €31 billion in 2025 and maintain growth toward the 2% NATO target. This sustained investment signals political commitment at a time when many European states still struggle to define long-term priorities. Ultimately, Italy's submarine gamble is about more than steel, sensors, or sonar. It is about reclaiming agency in a fragmented Europe and asserting that the ability to build, maintain, and export complex naval systems defines a nation's strategic relevance. In the silent depths of the sea, Italy is not merely expanding its fleet, it is crafting its future. While nuclear alliances like AUKUS capture headlines, the quiet hum of Italy's U212 NFS may one day prove just as consequential for the Mediterranean, for Europe, and for the balance of power that connects them to the wider world.